Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Another video. Today is going to be very interesting because you guys did ask a lot of questions about this subject. So, and plus it kind of lines up with what I'm about to do next for my board. If you know the Tsunami, of course you do. So next step is I am making this custom enclosure, battery enclosure for it. Okay, so videos are already available on my channel how to use a custom printed material and actually like put it under resin. It works the dream, it doesn't cost a lot. So take a look if you want to do it yourself. But what I had to do is after I broke in the Tsunami 1 deck, I've changed the color coding of the new Tsunami deck. So the new one does have a lighter blue at the bottom and a much darker blue at the top. Okay, so in order to kind of color match it, I've done a two-tone color coding around the edges of the actual battery enclosure. It's hard to see it right now, but trust me, you'll see it. So what I need to do next is come up with the final decision or final finish of the enclosure and also the deck. In last video you saw this deck being all nice and shiny. It's a bit dull now. This is because I need to protect the top layer of the resin. So there's two ways you can do this. You can either apply a nice coat of resin, which is your final coat, and you're perfectly happy with it. Then you wet sand it. All the details on my tutorial, take a look guys, but you wet sand it up all the way up to 2,500 grit sandpaper, and then you polish it off. That's your finish. And this is exactly the way that I have finished off the Tsunami 1 deck. Remember this one, the blue at the top? It's absolutely gorgeous and the finish is really good. And this is that broken deck, if you remember. So you can do it this way, or what you can do is you can sand down the last resin coat and then apply a really good quality clear coat spray paint. Okay, so I already have perfected this type of finishing now, and due to you guys asking as well, to be honest, I want to do the clear coating. Plus I've been playing around with the glass Frit. And obviously, using the glass Frit, there's no way you can actually polish around the Frit itself. Well, because it's sharp. How the hell are you going to do that? So I had to come up with an idea how to make the surface protected, shiny, and not sticky. Because sometimes resin does sweat. This is when it becomes kind of tacky when you touch it, even after it's dry. So I've done some digging around, and I found called to be the best in the world, out of the can, clear coat. And I've ordered 6 cans of it. It is called Spray Max 2K clear coat. These guys claim for this to be the best clear coat in real 2K finish. This is like glass, proper clear, same as you would get in a car body shop workshop, okay, finish, but out of the can. Obviously, if you know someone who works in a car body shop or does like a spraying jobs for cars, I would strongly recommend, after you do like a really good work and preparation, let's say on the battery enclosure or on your deck, take it to the guy, let him spray it for you in 2K. Okay, that's gonna come out bang. Because at home it's still possible, but it's quite hard. You got the dust, you got the bugs, you got the flies trying to land, and you got this kind of stuff happening. Okay, so there are different things that could go wrong when you're doing stuff, especially finishing surfaces at home, but I'm still gonna do it, and it is possible. Anyway, let's get back to this 2K super duper can. One of these cans will set you back from 25 to 35 pounds UK. Not quite sure what's in dollars. What is it, 40 bucks? Yes, you heard me right. One of these cans is about 35 to 40 dollars. Okay, so when I saw this, I thought, oh wow, that's so expensive. Well, hopefully it's not a gimmick. Plus it's made in Germany only, there's no replicas. And what I found very interesting, this can actually has 2 ends. So the one you spray from, and it does have this very professional looking nozzle, yeah, like a spray gun. But also at the same time, at the bottom, you got another. This is the hardener. So the way it works, there's blah blah blah, a lot of little pictures on the can itself, so it tells you how to use it. So you got a separate button which you pull out of the cap, just like that. You put it underneath, shake it, turn around, press it, then shake it again for 2 minutes. Well, then spray it. Okay, so let's shake it. Stop it! I'm shaking the can. Now, you release this activator button on. Okay, and now shake it for another 2 minutes. Sorry, I couldn't keep it straight. And now shake it for another 2 minutes. Well, I am assuming, guys, that you have prepared the surface that you're going to spray the lacquer onto, you know, with something like 800 grit paper, and it's all ready and you're happy with the finish. By the way, good tip, if you want to see how all of this is going to look like after you spray the clear coat, what I do use is the paint preparation wipes, or you can just use a wet rag. So when you actually make the surface wet, you can see exactly how it's going to look like. So nice and dull. Look at this. Okay, so what you can do is make it a bit wet, and then you can see if you are happy with what the product going to be at the end. Okay, obviously it's going to look much nicer with actual clear coat, but this will give you an understanding. Okay, so I think I've probably chosen the worst day ever to do this. There's a storm. But, oh well, it doesn't blow anything on the surface, I think. Let's try this super duper clear coat. So this is before, nice and dull. Oh, please work out well. Nah, it's way too windy, too much shit is blowing on the surface. Right, straight in the house. Okay, so let's take a look. I brought it straight in from outside because it's way too windy. And there's a couple of little bits blown on the surface, as you can see. See? But it's alright. I got it all covered. So now it's gonna dry up. So far, it's very shiny, very nice. So let it dry. Oh, it stinks. Let it dry, and we're just gonna do a quick, nice little sand down. It's probably like I don't know, 2.5 or 2,000, just to get rid of those little speckles. And we'll do a nice final coat actually in the workshop. I didn't want to do the whole lot in the workshop because it just stinks so much, guys. Drags straight into the house. Whoever got like external buildings, they all know have like an external workshop with extractor. Yeah, well, so far so good. It looks quite shiny. Okay, so I've done the second coat in the garage. Guys, I don't recommend doing that because it stinks and it's everywhere. So you need to find a really good place somewhere to actually spray your stuff. And now protect it under the box, otherwise I had to ventilate and all the stuff started getting stuck to it. So let's give it till tomorrow and we'll see how it looks like. Okay guys, so next morning, and I've got the box off of the enclosure where it was protected. I'm just waiting for the sun to come out. I'm going to show you the shine on this clear coat. So here's the enclosure. Okay, so this is the way the enclosure came out to be with this clear coat. You can actually see the sun and the sky. So I'm going to try to lay it down on the side. There we go. So, very shiny, very deep color. So pretty much very happy with this. Look at this. Nice. Everything is like 3D. Beautiful. The only thing that, well, you can't really see it, but in certain angles you get a couple of little dust particles. You see one right there? That settled on to the surface while it was drying. So it's, yeah, that's good. This is going to be under the deck. So will I ever see it? Will this little dust particle bother me? There's a couple of others, nothing major. Well, there are a couple of speckles of dust right on the surface. Can you see this? Maybe I got some sort of OCD or something, I don't know. But you know what? I am not very happy with this finish. See the little dots? These are speckles of dust. Like from far away, you can't even tell, but I know they're there. So let's guess what's going to happen. Yep. 400 grit is going to happen, or 800 after that, and new layer. But I've got an idea how to do this perfectly. And at the same time, since we are talking about the clear coat, I am actually going to do something different with this deck. So everything is now sanded down. These areas here will receive a glass frit, and we're going to finish this off with a clear coat. And this is how the enclosure looks like now. Don't worry guys, it's nice and dull, and this is good. The duller you get it, the better the finish will be. You see the shiny spots? That's not very good. It's still going to be really nice, don't get me wrong, but this area here is nice and dull. No high spots, no low spots. That's going to be the best area. Okay guys, so perfect day, nice and calm. Trees are not moving. You're probably wondering, did Pav come up with a solution on how to get that perfect clear coat on whatever you want really, enclosure or the deck if you're doing frit or whatever not? Yes, I did, and this is it. Okay guys, a couple of factors to remember when you are clear coating. Okay, the grass or the ground needs to be wet. That keeps all the dust particles down. And this here is what I came up with. So using just a cheap shade for the, I think it's a beach shade, pretty much. I was looking around for a good quality but not too expensive spray booth. And spray booths are actually just glorified beach shade, to be honest with you, just with a couple of vents at the top. Who cares about the little vents? They're not needed. So here we go, £11 or £12 on eBay. I got myself all 1, 2, 3 sides plus the bottom covered. Okay, now we're going to close this up. I've added something. Okay, so I have closed the front as well, as fast as you can really. As you can see, it's you know, it's breezy, so any dust and stuff will get onto that clear coat if you don't protect. Well, hopefully not too many bugs will find their way in there, or dust. Guys, it's hard to get a perfect finish at home, but it's possible. Well, we'll give it some time. We're going to take a look. How is she doing in there? Can't even see it. Dying to look at it now, but well, just have to leave it, guys. Don't open it too early, otherwise something will get stuck on the surface. Okay guys, it's time to take a look what we got here. I think it's dry enough. It's been 4 hours now. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, that is as blue as it can get. Oh, but it's steaming hot. Holy moly. Why is it so hot? Shit. Bollocks. This enclosure is so hot, guys. Oh, yeah. Can't even hold it in my hands. Shit. Oh. Why is it so hot? It's like extremely hot. And because of this temperature, it's bubbled up. That is bollocks. Oh yeah. It's so hot, this enclosure, guys. Unbelievable. Fuck knows why. So, no go. Look at this bubble right there. There. I mean, luckily nothing here. But the surface is kind of grainy. Nah, that's not good. Okay, so scratch resistant, or not as scratchable as normal lacquer. Let's find out. Does still scratch. And the chip resistant. Yeah, it is quite chip resistant. Let me be an example of never giving up. You saw how beautiful this enclosure almost looked like. Remember them bubbles? Well, I had to strip it down. And guess what? We're gonna have to, yeah, put it back right again. Well, never give up, guys. Never give up. So, stripping it down. And then everything all over again. Well, almost everything. Now the bubbles got repaired. Sanding it down again. This lacquer, yeah, didn't set well. I'll explain later, guys, what the problem was, but yeah, pretty much that's what I am now. So I need to color it in again and then clear coat it again. Okay, so we'll sand it down and we're ready to color in the areas where I had made the repairs. Okay, it's all color coded now, and it's drying. Looks quite good. The only thing I have to do is just correct a bit of paint here when it's dry. Just expose the wings a little bit. His Skate Freedom logo is exposed. Nice. Can see the repairs, which is main concern of mine. That looks good. Okay. Okay, guys. So the colors are corrected. I've done the edging, so it's like the design is breaking through with the silver line all the way around. Now should be just a clear coat. Guys, I don't want to sound like a dad, but please wear eye protection, FP3 minimum protection for your breathing, and gloves when you're working with spray, because you'll be surprised how much stuff you will breathe in. Okay, so please DIY safely. Okay guys, so enclosure is now prepped. I've done a couple of additions here, like a chrome line all the way around, but well, it's design, it's up to you how you do it. Next thing is we're going to prep the surface. That is the wet wipes. I've got something in that DIY enclosure already drying out. That's my deck. And yeah, because this can only survive 48 hours after being activated, I kind of, you know, timed it so I can do the lot. So let's prep the enclosure and spray it up. Okay, so she's all sprayed up, now sitting inside the enclosure, all closed up. Don't want any dust in it. 15-20 minutes it takes for it to become, well, not dry, but kind of ready for the second coat. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna need it or not, the second coat, but I'll take a look. By the way, it took a can, full can, to do a deck and also the enclosure. It's empty now. There's a couple of things I want to tell you about this, guys, so stick around, don't go away anywhere. I'll list out all the pros and cons about this. And this is the quality you can achieve with this clear coat. You can actually see the sky. That is brilliant. That's the enclosure. Okay guys, so now the best part, the summary. Do you like what you see? Do you like the quality you can get home without any special tools or special equipment like a proper spray shop? Well, if you do, this part is for you. So Spray Max 2K. There's a couple of things I want to mention about this product. So yes, it is really good. It does give you really good results if you follow certain rules. For starters, safety 100%. It is really smelly product. It stinks like really badly. Okay, what I do like about it, it's really thick, so it runs, it kind of levels itself out a little bit like resin does. So if you spray it and you see it's not quite even yet, leave it, don't touch it, because it will kind of spread out and even itself out, which is quite nice. If you remember in the video, and if you haven't noticed this part, please go back and take a look. The bubbles on the actual enclosure that I had to fix, which now came out really well. You cannot even notice that I had any issues here. The reason for that was the actual solar gains. So the tent was shut, the heat was protruding through the tent but couldn't escape, and it was just accumulating, and that's what kind of bubbled up the inner layer, which is the material in the resin, and the air bubbles between, which you cannot actually see, but air expands from the heat, and that's what bubbled it up. It's fixed now, so remember to kind of have a shadow over the tent if you're spraying something and completely closing it up and leaving it outside. Okay, and keep an eye on it as well. What I've done, I just left it closed and I went out with my family, came back 4 hours later, and that was way too late. Okay, next thing to remember, it does say on the can that after activating the can, so releasing the hardener, the shelf life is 48 hours. I've done the test and I was kind of shaking it every day and it felt really normal. It was the glass ball was jumping about. It didn't feel wrong at all, but when I sprayed it, it was not even. It had kind of like a dust little particles in, but it was not dust particles. It was actually the hardener kind of doing this job and making the clear coat dry or harden up already in like really tiny bits. So 48 hours is the maximum this can survive after you press this magical button at the bottom. Okay, so plan your work. If you're doing multiple items and one can is big enough to do the entire enclosure and also a let's say a battery enclosure, okay, so you can cover quite a lot, but you need to plan it, prepare both surfaces, and then you spray it so you don't have to waste quite expensive can. Okay, so these are the most important things really. All in general, you know, keep it safe, don't breathe the stuff in, don't do it in a house, try to do it in a ventilated area, keep the dust away. You can, as I mentioned in the video, like wet sand, really little particles that right on the surface, and then buff it out. I didn't want to do that, so As you've seen, I've kind of sanded down and got a perfect finish actually after spraying. So this here, I did not actually wet sand or buff. Okay, this is right off the spraying, drying, and that's it. That's all I've done. You know, you got, you know, some hand marks on it, but that's all right. That's just you know, wipes off with the rag. What else? It is expensive, but you can find some deals on these cans, guys. If you get multiple buy, then obviously it's cheaper. And I bought 6 cans for £96 delivered, so it's not too bad. You can maybe get in the groups and buy multiple cans and then spread across the team or something like that, you know, maybe that makes sense. And yeah, that's it really. So have patience and DIY safely, and that's how you get good results really. So hopefully this video was really helpful to you, and you learned certain bits and you will not make the same mistakes as I did. But you know what, if you do make mistakes, why not? This is what DIY is all about. You try it, you fail, don't give up, do it again and again if needed, and then when end result is actually there, I'm so happy with the results I've got, and I'm proud I can turn around and say, you know what, I've done this. Not a car spray shop, I did, in my garden, in a really cheap beach stand, you know? That's what matters to me. If you're still watching this, that means that matters to you as well. Anyway, I really do like your comments, and if you have any comments at all or questions, please leave them right here in the comments section, because I do always reply. And if you got something to say, please do, negative, positive, I don't mind. It's a hobby, and I'm still going to do it no matter what. Okay, that's it for this video. Subscribe, don't forget, because some cool stuff coming up. Obviously you can see I am ready to build my awesome battery. It's a 12S6P moly cells, and that's gonna be something very, very nice. I'll talk to you later, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ride safely, build safely, see you soon.